Hey guys, and welcome back to another Friday Facts discussion. Apparently, my OBS is overloaded. Thank you. And I'm here with Root, Gepwin, and a crying shame.
Hey lads.
Hey everybody.
And Friday Facts. So this is another short, pretty simple one. There's actually not that much to discuss, to be honest.
Oh, but it's a little bit exciting.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
It's not exciting. It's just there isn't a lot to talk about.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So they're adding. Apparently, they've all been sick, and they're getting better. So things for 15 are moving along nicely, which is great. They are working. Clonin did something like with a mod GUI change for modders. We have
like a framework
like
now. There's a
which should make it easier.
So your buttons won't be all terrible and cruddy and hard to read.
Exactly.
And like spaced wrong and
it just looks gross across the top.
They just created a standard, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right. So this first picture is what it looks like now, usually when you have multiple mods with GUIs, and then down here is like what it would look like in 15 if the modders use the kind of like template, I guess.
It's a framework, yeah.
And
because it's pretty much they created a function specifically for creating the GUI that way.
Right, exactly. Which, I think it's cool. It's always good when they add support for modders because, the modders add an insane amount of content to the game.
Yeah, by adding that support as well, it just helps everything look nice as well. I find when I'm using mods, I want them to fit really nicely with the game. I don't like mods that seem like they're hacked into working. And making them fit into the GUI is really, really nice, I think. It's a really good step. And it's just gonna encourage modders to keep doing their thing, and it's gonna give them more tools to make good stuff, which I think is great.
Fantastic.
Factorio is becoming like the most mod-friendly game I've ever seen, with the in-menu downloads and the easy toggleability, and now the cleaned-up GUI.
On the player side, definitely. I think there's still some work to go on, like the behind the scenes with the API and the kind of the tools behind the scenes. But you're definitely right. It's kind of indicative of a little bit of a shift in some games that are bringing in this not just mod support, but almost mod encouragement, where you've got these in-game tools to allow you to mod your game very easily. Another that I can think of is RimWorld, where you can go through and you can grab mods from inside the game. Admittedly, it just goes to Steam and then you just use the workshop, but same kind of idea where mods are not just supported but almost encouraged, because developers are realizing that limitations are good, that they're focusing in on creating a core game and then leaving all the extra stuff to the modders.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
One of those things where you spend all this time creating a product and then you leave it open to the market, and the market just creates content for the very thing you're selling.
So and
just makes it better.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people who almost always plays vanilla on most games, and Factorio is the one where I've used the most mods just because of how easy they've made it for the player side. So it's really just encouraging and opening up to people, especially since if you think about it, Factorio is like a huge game, but it really doesn't have that much base content. Like we can finish up a pretty simple base that builds more or less everything in like 3-4 hours.
True.
Well, we have pretty much, and I've done like 12 episodes, 10 episodes by the time I forgot a few, and we've kind of got it done. Like the depth and the complexity comes from within the game. It's the whole idea of complexity from simplicity, where you're just adding layers from what's already there. And like you say, I normally play fairly vanilla in some games, but some I mod quite heavily. And Factorio has always been one of the games where I don't mod it that heavily, actually.
See, there's certain games that after I started modding and like messing with things, I realized that there's just a part of the game that's missing in spirit. And games like, for instance, Minecraft and Factorio are those games where I felt that after I've played with mods for a little while, it's almost hard for me to go back to vanilla because I enjoyed the mods so much.
Yeah, they kind of add what's missing.
Yeah. So that's good. They're adding more mod support. It'll make it cleaner, make it easier, hopefully, for modders. And then the second half, which is pretty much now the entirety. This is the whole Friday Facts. It's quite short, but station colors. So Vaclav actually teased this on Reddit a few days ago. I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but it was like super highly upvoted.
So it wasn't exactly a secret then, was what you're saying?
No, for anyone who follows the subreddit, it wasn't a secret. I mean, I knew about this before the Friday Facts, just because he showed like a little animation of it.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, you can color your stations in 0.15 to match whatever your locomotive color is, and on top of that, you can copy paste between stations and like the color, or from a locomotive to a station to copy the exact color as well.
Cool.
Fantastic.
So,
that means you can
So
label all
we
the
can make
iron,
them look
all
pretty.
the copper.
Yeah, I like it. I love the idea of recoloring trains, and then when I'm actually in there doing it, I just don't bother.
Well, I feel like as the system is right now, having a colored train doesn't necessarily really matter. It's more the actual names. I find that with this addition to it, it makes a little bit more sense because you can eyeball what train is going where.
Right, although I would think that depending how big your base is, you'd pretty quickly run out of like colors. Like I know you can set the RGB and stuff, but like distinguishable colors, I mean, if you're looking in your 5 different variants
Colors
of
are
red.
infinite.
Well,
yeah.
No, but the way that I'd go about it is you would just, like, for instance, all the iron trains would be blue, all the oil trains will be black, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's going to get interesting with they're putting in some more circuit connectivity. I think in 15 they were saying for trains.
Yeah.
So it's just going to get even more confusing. Coloring the trains may be a really good thing there when you can change where they're going on the fly and have the circuits read stuff and send stuff and do who knows what.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
If you can circuit change the colors, that would be fantastic.
I somehow doubt it.
Yeah,
because then you could.
Why?
But then because then you could have omni trains. So this way you could just have a train that just picks up from one location, drops off another location, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to like specify this is an oil train, this is an iron train. These are just trains that pick up and drop off stuff. So then when it's like, all right, this needs to load up iron, it then changes to blue to signify that it's loading iron. I think that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
It would be cool. It sounds like a disaster waiting to happen, but
It does.
I mean, just the idea of sending one train to like change between like 4 different products just sounds like a massive headache. Like,
But I would do it anyway.
Yeah. I was just thinking that like we don't know what the extent of the circuit interactivity with the trains is going to be yet, but if it lets you like change station programming on the fly, having your trains actually colored will be way less confusing because you can just glance at it and go, oh, that's one of my old trains going off to who knows where because it's being decided by the circuitry, instead of like, what the heck is this train? Where is it going? Like, why is its programming all messed up? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So you're actually talking about being able to set up almost like a request system where the different oil outposts will say, I'm full, come pick up what I've got. And then a train will get tasked to go and pick it up. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, which you can sort of do now. We could set that up now, but it's complicated, and that would make it so much better. But,
in regards to having circuits actually change the color of train stops, I don't even know. Even if they wanted to, I feel like that's not actually possible. because I know obviously even now you can change light colors with circuit stuff, but I think that's different because lights are actually like projecting something.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to
change.
be able to change colors. It'd be cool, but it doesn't make sense to be able to do that.
So it doesn't make sense. What you could do is you'd have to have it take possibly 3 inputs and be able to set the RGB based on those different inputs.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we're drifting off the track here, lads. To be honest,
I think so.
All puns intended.
Well,
we're derailing the conversation.
Well, I see that they favor your approach to stations where you have a little bit off the end, so it looks okay, Root.
Yeah, well, I thought that was reasonable. Like, otherwise, it looks like it's run off the end of the tracks. And
True.
You can see like the bumper looks like it lines up with the front of the train. You know, it works well.
Totally. So yeah, I mean, I think that does it. There wasn't much to talk about.
That's about it.
That's it for this one. Unless you guys have anything else to add on topic, because we're already like, I don't know how long, but probably longer than we should be for this amount of information.
Yeah.
11 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Jeez, okay.
So I
think we should wrap it up here.
Yep, sounds good.
Sounds great. See you later,
right.
gentlemen.
All right, see you later.
Guys.
Thank you everyone for watching. Would love to hear your feedback in the comments, and take care.
Bye.